On this episode of Trailer Park Turnaround, we're still at Walnut Creek as we're looking to open the RV park at the end of the summer. We're talking with contractors on site to make sure they stay on time and on budget as we relaunch the park and make sure that we make this the best community in Troy, Alabama. So watch what happens next on Trailer Park Turnaround. This is the journey of two real estate investors from Staten Island, New York, who travel the country looking for mismanaged, undercapitalized, and run-down trailer parks.
We invest capital and our time to turn these parks around and make our communities better.
These are our stories. So we're at the fishing pier that we just installed at Walnut Creek. The residents have been utilizing it and loving it, which is great. It provides access into this 20-acre lake, which is stocked with fish. We've got the feeder here. We've got like 13, 14-pound bass in here. And we want to create an amenity that the residents and, quite frankly, the RV people will enjoy by cleaning up this park and by cleaning up the lake and creating something that's usable, that's an added amenity, and that's an activity that people can enjoy of all ages.
I think it came out great. We've already seen people enjoying it. If you like to fish, from what I hear, there's some pretty big fish in here. Can't wait to come down and do some fishing myself.
We're actually he's not gonna fish. I've been training him with a spear that I've whittled out of one of the trees that we have here, and he's going to be out here spearing on the next episode trying to catch a fish. We're going to see who catches a fish first. We're not here just turning around parks. We're actually going to give you a little Alabama geographic knowledge. So over here we have fish that are spawning. They call those little fish fishlets. So we have little fishlets that are now spawning into the base, and they're going to be making their way to their home, right, out in the centerland, right? But right now, as these fishlets are growing, they're out here at the base, which is really fun for a guy like me to come out there and see, because you don't see that in Staten Island too often. So it looks great having trees in your park. However, trees in a park can cause a multitude of issues, whether it's inside of power lines, potential hazardous issues with storms and limbs falling on homes, or roots getting into the underground infrastructure, potentially impacting water and sewer lines. So we spend time walking through the park to identify potential hazardous issues and eliminating them before we continue on our infrastructure improvements and further beautification in any community that we own. So trees good, trees in a park, not so good. I don't necessarily need to do this, right? Look at that. This is normal stuff. We're down on site. We got an estimate to do some tree cutting and tree trimming. And regardless, when you're there and you're working a site, contractors will give you estimates, will give you prices. You have to walk through the job to make sure that you and your team are in alignment in terms of what needs to get done, and then understanding where pricing is. Here's the price I need to be at. I need the work done. How do we get there, right? How do we get there? We're building that relationship by knowing the time it's going to take, by knowing what the numbers are and the costs are. And this way we can work together to come to a price where they can make money and you can keep a symbiotic relationship, but you can save money on doing the work. You can't be in this business and pay retail prices for everything, because that's going to cut into your profit margins and make these parks in a business of nickels and dimes. You're going to see quarters walk out the door. Whenever you're looking at the scope of work with a contractor, you should have already identified whether the job is a need to or a want to. And here's the difference. If you need to do something because it will impact operations, or you have to do it to execute your business plan. You want to do something because you think it would be nice to have, and all of that has a difference on your budget and the returns that you're expecting on the work that you're doing. So as we're walking through the park with this contractor, we have a need to get done and a want to get done. And to stay on budget, you have to stick to the need tos and don't add in the want tos, even though it sounds good at the time.
We've done a lot of tree work
before. We've actually already had a little bit of tree work done in this park. We wanted to bring in somebody that was local, somebody that, you know, could work with us periodically throughout some time. So we got a recommendation from someone, and, you know, this is the first time I'm meeting Willie.
You're helping Frank and Eric with trees?
Yeah, we're cutting trees.
Okay, I just want you to explain the story that you just told me
Yeah, we were
about.
talking about my cousin, his rattlesnake catching. It was an 18-foot rattlesnake, diamondback, and it had a Labrador dog and 13 puppies inside the rattlesnake. We cut it out and it was showed.
Oh my, where in Alabama?
No, Lakeland, Florida.
Oh, in Florida.
Yeah, big snake.
And it was in a trailer park.
Yep, it was trailer park. And it was killing animals for a long time. Now that's a big snake. Oh,
Think there's any around here?
it might be. All this, I mean, yeah.
When do you have that slated to be demoed?
When they're done with the RV section, Frank.
Got it. So it's 106 trees. I thought it was $350 a tree,
Yeah,
but it's 106 trees.
and that was counting the one big tree and
There's one back
one
over
big
there.
tree
We haven't
over
made it
there
on
and a
that
trim
road.
job over there and this pine.
Remember we were gonna put a house there, we were gonna put a house there, and we're putting a house there. And this tree and this tree are way too low to get a house in there, number one, so they have to come up. And you can
Come
see
up
right
meaning
there.
trimmed all the way up.
Yeah, yes.
Okay. And you're charging us, would you say $350 per tree?
Right, you had to look at it. When you trim this one up, the 350, the little trees make up for the bigger ones. You understand what? That's a $1,200 tree, but I still charge you $350. And I will go over there and get 5 or 6 little ones. It'll make up for the, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And you know I can't charge you $1,200 for a little tree.
Right.
I mean, common sense tell you that.
Big tree, little tree, it's not the same.
Hey, buddy.
It smells like shit over here.
Left hand limb.
Right.
See that line going up it?
Yep.
Top of completely rotten. That's
Okay.
where that limb came from.
So you're saying what, this tree's dead?
No, you trim it up. What I would do, I would cut the tops of it out, make it littler. I mean, that give you shade still. That's what we would do. Yep.
These limbs should come off the trail.
And all these bigger limbs right through here, all these limbs right here,
Thank you.
all the way up to the tooth, all of that needs to be gone.
Just on this side.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, not on this side.
Well, you trim it up, make it look right.
But it's the same price to do either way.
Right, because I mean, you got more than $350 work right there.
Just explain to you my train of thought here, guys. And I'm not saying some of this stuff doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, we live in New York. I mean, obviously I don't live down here. Like, this is the norm. Like, and I'm not saying that sometimes a little bit of a trim off a tree line, but
Right.
I mean, I'll send you a picture of in front of my house. There's tree limbs everywhere inside of a, you know, and I'm not saying that in certain situations we should be, but I don't see the big need to do this right now, like this section here.
Do you live in a mobile home park? Is that park not being run the way you think it should be? If there's problems at your park and you think they could be run better, reach out to us at the MHP Exchange. We want to hear from you what the issues are and see if your park could be next on our trailer park turnaround. Top tree guy getting paid what? You want to say $2,000 a day? Not even. No way. Right?
I would say probably 1,000 a day, 800 a day.
Top tree guy.
Yep.
So top tree guy, $800. So that's $4,000 right there. Right, so that's 16. That's 18.5. Hole in the stuff, another $5,000. Right, that's 23.5.
Right. Okay.
Right? So 20% on top of that takes you to like 28.
And listen, we're gonna see him tomorrow. I mean, we could have that conversation.
We're not
with
going to see him tomorrow. We're on the road early in the morning.
He's meeting
He's
us
going
there.
down to
Oh.
Theodore
Oh.
to look at your tree work down there.
We could have that conversation with him as well.
Will gave us an estimate for the work that we needed done for $50,000. We estimated this job for the time, labor, and equipment to do the job at about $28,000. In order for Will to be part of our team, he needs to come down closer to our number. Now it's time to break it to him.
Willie,
Right?
so my question to you is how did the price of the first phase of work go from being
Okay.
such a
Alright.
interesting and good price to like a triple price?
104 or 115 trees. got
He
me
said
trimmed
he'd
up.
call you back.
Wow.
And
with
it's
the-
2 more, it's 1, 2, it's 3 more, 4 more trees got to be cut.
If we're gonna commit to doing additional tree work, I'm gonna have to pull that money from somewhere else.
Right.
Listen, there's no doubt in my mind that you're being fair with us, right? So I really got to take a close look at what we're doing.
This is a good first step. We still gotta, I know we cleaned all this out. We gotta clean out that. It's a good first step.
We're gonna have to build 2 fences or something up there and over there, right? Which is gonna deter people. But again, it's a hard walk to get here.
I think you underestimate people's willingness to want to walk. You're out here in nature.
Nobody wants to walk in 110 degrees, Frank.
Yeah? Have you ever been to Marco Island?
Yeah, well,
Have you been- have you been-
this ain't Marco
Have you
Island.
ever seen Marco Island? Like how far the beach is from the land?
This ain't Marco
from
Island.
The
And
water is from the beach?
these are people that live here. These are people who come here. Most people don't want to walk. I mean, they're going to, but, this is a cool day. Like in the middle of the summer here, it's over 100 degrees. People want to drive up, get out of their car and fish.
When we closed on Walnut Creek, we paid $3.4 million and we had 78 occupied MH sites and 54 occupied RV sites. We knew there was infrastructure improvements that we had to make, and to get that community to be the spot to be in Troy, Alabama, we were willing to commit $2.5 million to infrastructure and amenity improvements to go along with our expansion plan. And when we're done, we'll have 156 MH sites to go along with 90 RV sites on a 20-acre lake, a beautiful fishing pier, and amenities to include a playground, picnic tables, and more. This isn't gonna happen by luck, but only through hard work. So stick around and keep tuning in to Trailer Park Turnaround to see what happens next.